Workers in some states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria are currently groaning under hardship occasioned by salary cuts and rationed salaries amid inflation and general economic hardship. According to investigations by the Daily Trust newspaper, Kano, Kogi, Niger, Gombe, and Ondo are facing a variety of challenges, from February salaries being cut, salaries being paid in installments, to non-payment of the minimum wage, to salaries being delayed as much as 3 months. Joining us to discuss further is Arise Business Analyst Chika Mbonu. Chika, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Good to see you again. And heavy things to discuss today, Chika. Shall we begin with aviation and the Azman Air statements? What do you make of that development?
Well, I mean, it's like most things in Nigeria, you know. We have read so many versions of this story.
Yeah.
And sadly, the people that should provide clarity as to what really happened, nobody has come out to speak. Kaduna State government has not spoken. The federal government has not spoken. The security agencies have not spoken. So we don't even know what the real facts are. But I mean, we can just surmise from the fact that Azman said their flight was delayed for 44 minutes, and they were informed about the security situation, means that the environment was hostile to aviation. And that is a very dangerous trend, very dangerous trend. That compressed cylinder that is blasting off in the air, and any small thing that touches it is going to be calamitous. Speaks so much of the danger. A lot of things were read about 200 bandits on the runway, 200 bandits taking over the directional equipment. You know, we don't know what the real thing is, but the fact that Azman couldn't take off is substantial, it's major. And a threat to aviation is a further threat to Nigeria. And it ties into so many other things that stories that you went through during your rundown. You thought about governors going to Dubai
for the investment forum. Yeah. What do you?
Oh God!
Why? Why are you saying that, Chika? You said we should look for investments, right? So,
you see, I went through that story. I looked through the list. A lot of those governors, some of those governors have just barely 13 months.
Right.
Out of 8 years.
Right. Exactly, you know, and I see where you're going with this.
You know, one of them is Abia State Governor, for example. By the way, Abia is not my state,
right,
so I'm not politically inclined.
Right.
And Aba is an eyesore. You know, Aba required a high-stake investment, Julius Berger kind of move to get the infrastructure and roads, everything ready to transform that economy and transform the economy of Abia State. Otherwise, Abia State, the capital of my here, is a civil service state. You know, and so a lot of the governors, this low-hanging fruit of agriculture, if nothing else. We're not even looking for nuclear option, submarine investments or whatever, but things like agriculture, you know, and some of them have left it, you know, too late. And 8 years of your tenure. And so
it's now you're going to investment forum.
And then, you know, so I've had problem with the subnational government, and each time we attack the federal government, but I keep saying that our problem, one of the major problems we have in our country, is the fact that the states are mere consumption centers. You know, in Nigeria, they just go there and collect FAC allocation. Most of them, the IGR is a paltry percentage of the FAC allocation. Remove FAC allocation, most of the states we die. Tying into another story that you have here today that has to do with I'll touch salary in a minute.
Yeah.
You know, so this investment drive for me, I'm constrained. I'm tempted not to think that it will be a nice Easter code focused trip. You know, and how many people are in those teams
for each state, right? Right.
I even now one of the governors has been there since last week. You know, for this investment forum has been there since last week. So it just talks about a jamboree mentality, not that conscientious, dedicated, committed movement towards getting investment for the states. So 8 years of your tenure, the last 13 months, what investment did you bring? Now, some of these governors, don't forget, Abuja governors too.
You said it many times.
Yeah, most of them living, I guess, houses in Abuja, and when they go to their states, we'll see the things, when they go to their states once a month, they're receiving in their states like, oh, the man is here, celebration and drums at the airport. And so we have problems, so I have nothing with investment expeditions. I remember the governor of my own state, I won't tell you my state, one time, also.
Okay.
One time, I arranged for 2 private jets, or, expedition to Turkey, and around the time he was elected, and with this investment drive, we didn't even find toothpick.
Anything from the investment?
8 years tenure, no toothpick, not even toothpick or broomstick investment came in. So, well,
you're not optimistic about the outcome of this investment visit. But if we quickly tie it to what happened in Kaduna, I mean, if you're an investor in Dubai, we not ask questions about insecurity before you bring money.
Those are the issues that somebody sitting down there making investment decisions. Okay, my plane has to land in Kaduna, and I just see this breaking news that, so. What are you, what I want to know, what are you speaking? What are you speaking to? What are you selling? They said they're going to have presentations. I guess PowerPoint prepared by some people, consultants who have collected hundreds of thousands of dollars, or, we know how this is work.
Yep.
And, glossy presentations. And after that, people will go and start shopping in Dubai malls. And then, I've done it. I've done it. What happens after that?
Yeah, exactly. We know what's going on.
What are you selling, really?
Right.
What are you selling? The environment you're selling. You that can't even go to your state. You're
going to another country to attract people to your
quarantine in Abuja.
Right.
So I want people to come to your state to go and invest. But there are low-hanging fruits. There's so many things we can do, but sadly, the subnational governments have just been consumption centers for me, focusing on security, votes, and all those stuff. And you can see it in the IGR. Look at the governors, the IGR pattern over the land. If the governor is growing the private economy in your state,
you'll see
the IGR should grow.
Yeah.
Taxes should grow. The private sector should grow. It reflects in those things. You'll see it there. But so how many of the state governments can boast of that?
It's not that many. Not that many.
What you'll see is
heading in the other direction.
And that's why I said I'm not optimistic. And most of them are almost 8 years already.
Right. In tenure.
Look at tied into the salaries.
The salaries,
salary cuts.
Yeah, the salary cuts.
Again, some national governments who are cutting salaries, who are not implementing policies, who are doing pay as you go. Salary payment to workers and civil servants. And you see, the sad thing about it is the bottom of the pyramid people.
Right, that are suffering.
That's suffering. Primary school teachers, secondary school teachers, local government workers, and no sacrifice. Remember what I talked about? Everything ties in. When we talked about the gap, why the government is not able to push through the subsidy issue, is that the bourgeoisie are not making any sacrifices. You saw the news from Ghana.
Yes, the cuts.
The cuts all the way, 30% of the salary for everybody.
Yeah.
So we'll see the president and everybody will say, we have cut our salary. We have dropped our private jets. This year, there will be no change of furniture. This year, we will manage everything, this to sacrifice to the nation. As you're talking about that, not 1 billion to 20 billion to change furniture in government house. This one to do cars, imported cars, and yet you want people at the bottom of the pyramid to do what?
To make that sacrifice.
And a lot of the states now are not paying salaries for primary school teachers, secondary school teachers, local government workers, bottom of the pyramid. In an environment where inflation is what? Spiraling away. You're cutting salaries instead of increasing salaries. And justifying it. Pensioners are not being paid. And then people will sleep very well and travel to Dubai, collect their full Esther codes, use private jet to Dubai. They don't use private. They don't. It's private jets. They don't use.
Right.
They don't follow Emirates or whatever. Private jets. Stay in the best hotels in Dubai. Some of them travel a week before this conference even, and they want the bottom of the pyramid to sacrifice. So.
Yes, I so understand. Great, Chika. What about the Labour Congress, Chika? The Labour Congress, they are complaining about these salary cuts, but they also still support fuel subsidy staying in place.
See, it's like somebody that has a cut. You're facing cancer, and you're going to leave. You're going to cut off one part of your body that is so important to you. What do you do? What do you really do? So I can understand the sentiment now that, okay, the one way we'll see, this subsidy.
Right.
These people are not willing to sacrifice. I told you to push the subsidy through.
Right.
Starting from the up there. I have about 5, 6, 7 passenger fleet. I'm giving up what I'm selling, whatever. There'll be no furniture to this. My cars, no change of cars for the last, whatever. Up there, from the top there. Don't from the top. We're sacrificing. All political appointees, salary cut by 30%, 40%. Do you understand?
Yes.
No leave allowances, no this one, no, So nation, my citizens, who have done this, this is bitter pill. No, we can understand that. Right. Because all the things the states are doing have derives from the fact that some of them have low FAC allocation.
Right.
Why do you have low FAC allocation? At the time that oil prices are what? Rising. You see the conflicts.
Right.
So, because oil prices are rising, all the oil earnings that we have, we use to reverse back and put very expensive gasoline into our country.
Right.
That will come into our country. You saw the report that between January and over this year, 8% increase in petroleum consumption. How is that possible? When did you buy 2 cars?
Right.
How many of these are companies? Do you know how many times? Nothing has changed in the economy. So it means that what? Smuggling.
That's what is happening.
Smuggling is that. But who won't smuggle?
When the price
once it's 2 naira plus, I guess it was 500 naira across the border. Even cents will join.
Right.
Everybody will join in the dinner. So it's same thing everywhere. We're a very serious country.
Chika, thank you as always for laying out the issues and telling it as it is. Arise Business Analyst Chika Mbonu, appreciate you coming in, sir.
Thank you.